On March 25th, 1997, American rapper the Notorious B.I.G, aka Biggie Smalls, dropped a song that will become iconic not just in the hip hop community, but in American culture as a whole. The 10 Crack Commandments is arguably the most popular track on Christopher Wallace, aka Biggie's last studio album, Life After Death. The song was not even a single, yet it was so popular that Lin-Manuel Miranda did a remix of it to create his song, The 10 Dual Commandments, for his smash hit musical Hamilton. The song also received a number of remasters and remixes. My personal favorite was released on YouTube called Life After Death Star, which is a collection of Biggie Smalls that were remixed with Star Wars tracks. Check it out. The first line in the 10 Crack Commandments goes, I've been in this game for years. It made me an animal. There's rules to this shit. I wrote me a manual, a step-by-step booklet for you to get your game on track, not your wig pushed back. Now, on the surface, the song seems like it's just a how-to manual for being a successful drug dealer. However, the lessons contained in the song don't just apply to selling crack. For Biggie and other drug dealers like him, crack was everything, not because they were addicted to it, but because it provided an income and a way of life. The 10 Crack Commandments is really an education in human nature's raw, real viciousness. The level of street smarts required to survive in an environment like this breeds several lessons from managing competition. In this video, I've broken down each of the 10 Crack Commandments so you get the benefits of these hard-earned, deeper lessons about business and human nature without ever having to sell drugs yourself. Oh, and one more thing. I will not be using the song in the video because copyright, YouTube, and all that good stuff. Instead, I'll be rapping the song, and you can tell when I'm rapping. And if you know the lyrics, feel free to sing along. With that said, let's hop into it. Never let anyone know how much money you have. Rule number uno, never let no one know how much dough you hold, because you know. The cheddar breed jealousy, especially if that man fucked up, get your ass stuck up. The only thing that will make a person hate you more than doing better than them is if you openly flaunt your success. What starts out as mere envy often transforms into outright sabotage of your life and career. The motivation for this hate stems from their scarcity mentality and a lack of competitive drive. The scarcity mentality makes a person believe that everything is a zero-sum game. Your victory in life automatically means their defeat, even if you aren't in the same field. Your continued success activates their deeply seated insecurities about their abilities. Whether they try to damage you physically, mentally, or emotionally, eventually you'll get your ass stuck up by a hater. They think it's better to try to beat you outside the game than to go after you in competition. It's best to be secretive about your success until you are in a sufficient position to not be affected by their jealous attacks. Remember, the most dangerous enemies aren't the ones who openly oppose you. The ones who do the most damage are those whose loving embrace conceals their raging envy. Number 2, never let them know your next move. Don't you know bad boys move in silence and violence? Take it from your highness. I done squeezed mad clips at these cats for their bricks and chips. The element of surprise will always be your greatest advantage. Regardless of other imbalances in ability, the one who acts first has the greater advantage. The longer it takes the opposition to mount a counter, the more easily you can achieve your objective. If it looks like you're going to be in a street fight and there's no way to run, throw the first blow. Better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Also, tell as few people as necessary about your plans. This eliminates the possibility of your plans being revealed to your opponents so they can counter you. Lastly, remember this: lightning doesn't strike the same place twice. Many opportunities only present themselves once. Certain vulnerabilities will not be open again. The moment your plan to exploit is revealed, then it will disappear. As the great sage Lil Wayne once said, real G's move in silence like lasagna. Number 3, trust no one. Number 3, never trust nobody. Your mom set that ass up properly gassed up. hoodied and masked up for that fast buck should be laying in the bushes to light that ass up. When you're young, secrets feel like something you should share with friends. The older you get, the more you realize their value. The fewer people know something, the fewer people you have to worry about telling someone who can thwart your plans. This is especially true when it comes to incentives. As the old saying goes, everyone is a whore for the right price. Even your mother will give up the goods on you if the money is right or the leverage is tight. The only way to protect yourself is to make sure that no one knows anything about what you're doing. Combine this with the second rule for supreme secrecy and information control. Never use what you sell. Number 4, I know you heard this before, never get high on your own supply. Whatever you're selling, it's important that you don't become an overindulgent consumer. Your desires should never interfere with profits. Now, it's obvious when talking about selling alcohol or drugs, but let's start there and extend the idea to other vices. Imagine being a drug dealer who is addicted to the drug he's selling. Every day he confronts a difficult dilemma: to chase a high or to chase dollars. The two goals are mutually exclusive. That's easy. Now imagine something benign like physical training. While it's important that you're in shape, you can't spend so much time working out that you don't have any time left to service clients. If your goal is business success, you need to do the minimum to remain a viable choice and focus on the efforts that will generate revenue. The main lesson here is that it's difficult, if not impossible, to be both a producer and consumer of a product. The more time you spend making things, the less time you have to enjoy them. The more you enjoy what someone else makes, the less time you have to make something of your own. Number 5, don't mix business and pleasure. Number 5, never sell no crack where you rest at. I don't care if they want an ounce, tell them bounce. The warning here is to never sell drugs where you live because unsatisfied customers and rival drug dealers are likely to seek you out where you sell for retaliation. If you live where you do business, then not only is your home put in danger, but you also introduce the possibility of collateral damage and innocent bystanders whom you care about getting attacked in a revenge attempt. Fortunately, the potential penalty for working where you live isn't nearly as severe if you do legal work. However, it comes with its own problems and challenges. One of the issues we observed during the COVID-19 pandemic was how many people had trouble adjusting to major work from home. One of the biggest complaints is that their employer expected them to always be available. Also, many people felt distracted by problems around the house. Whenever you leave work, leave work. Whenever you leave your personal life, leave your personal life. A clear line between the two is best for your sanity and boundaries. This goes double if you work for yourself, as it's easy to convince yourself that you have to always be working. Number 6, don't do work on credit. Number 6, that goddamn credit, dead it. You think a crackhead paying you back? Shit, forget it. Crackheads are unreliable. They can hustle whenever they need to get money for crack, but they're still unreliable. If you want to learn more about crackheads, check this video out. I don't think anyone needs to be specifically warned against loaning crackheads money. However, Biggie felt it was necessary to include this commandment. Why? For a drug dealer, it's easy to assume that his reputation for violence, or the violence of the general drug trade, would inspire addicts to pay him back. So he may be allured into thinking giving drugs on credit is a good idea. I'd imagine it doesn't take long for a street dealer to realize that addiction is stronger than common sense. Addicts only think in the short term. They will do whatever they can to secure relief from their cravings. When we apply this rule to our business and personal life, there is almost certainly a high degree of confidence in getting your money, but there is a major parallel to the drug game that must be respected in your personal life. If a drug dealer gives you drugs on credit, he can't repossess those drugs if the user doesn't pay him back. Violence is a deterrent, not a means of collection, so he's still out the drugs. Similarly, avoid doing any work on credit and get your payment upfront. The time you invest into doing the work can't be recovered if they stiff you. However, they are protected in that they can file a chargeback with their bank or credit card company if they feel your work is unsatisfactory. This is the other side of the 10th commandment. Don't take on debt you can't pay back. And don't do work on credit unless you absolutely have to. We'll get to that one later. 7. Family business separation. Number 7. This rule is so underrated. Keep your family and business completely separated. Money and blood don't mix like, and I will not say the rest of that lyric because YouTube and I'm trying to grow my channel, but fans of the song know what he says next, and you can look it up later if you want to. This might be the only rule in the 10 crack commandments that people disagree with. First, the rule is pretty straightforward. Don't get family involved with the business. People typically think of this situation as not hiring or working with family members. The pushback is that some of the most profitable businesses in history have been started with family. Working with family typically comes with a type of trust and reliability that you can't hire and money can't buy. However, there will be problems if your family isn't on the same page as you in terms of ambition, ability, or emotional control. If you're not careful, the disagreements you have in your personal life will manifest themselves in your business relationships and vice versa. However, if the relationship you have with your family is strong, then you'll be able to do great things, even greater than the things you could do if you worked with other highly competent people who aren't related to you. This commandment falls into a more of a warning category than outright advisement against. If you have someone you're close with who is going through a tough time, it might seem like the right thing to do to help them get a job. But if things go sour, it will ruin your relationship. 8. Protect yourself from liabilities. Number 8. Never keep no weight on you. Them cats that squeeze your guns can hold jumps too. This is one of those pieces of advice that reads right out of the Machiavelli classic, The Prince. Before you can appreciate the brilliance of this advice, though, most of you will need some translation. Jums is short for jumbos. Jumbos are the name given for roughly $20 worth of crack. Ironically, Biggie was arrested for breaking this rule in 1991. He was arrested for selling crack cocaine in North Carolina and spent 9 months in jail before making bail. As for them cats that squeeze your guns, he's referring to the muscle, goons, shooters, or bodyguards that a drug dealer must employ to stay safe in the dangerous game of street hustling. So, specific to the drug game, he's telling you that there's no reason for you to ever have drugs on your person. As the leader, there's no reason for you to risk being picked up by the police and found with any drugs on your person. Just like generals don't actually do the fighting, drug dealers shouldn't be doing the dealing. The risk is too great. Applied to your life and business, you must do whatever you can to protect yourself from liability. In your personal life, this means never texting or messaging anything you can't stand by personally and not spending time with the wrong types of people who increase your chances of being harmed. In your business life, this means that you should have insurance and operate from behind an LLC. Keep meticulous records, make sure return policy is clearly stated, and do whatever you can to honor what you said you would do. Do everything you can to protect yourself from the inevitable downsides and negative externalities that come from being in business. Commandment number 9 dives even deeper into this idea. Watch the company you keep. Number 9 should have been number 1 to me. If you ain't getting bags, stay the fuck from police. If niggas think you snitching, they ain't trying to listen. They be sitting in your kitchen waiting to start hitting. Specifically, Biggie is warning that if you are seen around the police and you aren't getting arrested, then your drug dealing comrades will think you struck some type of deal and you are now an informant. They aren't going to wait around to find out if their suspicions are correct. So from that point on, you're living on borrowed time. Generally speaking, applied to your personal life, this is a stern warning about watching the company you keep and maintaining your reputation. There is a saying I live by: where there is smoke, there is fire. This means that if there are signs you did something wrong, then people will assume that you did something wrong. They aren't going to wait until they see the fire. They're going to use the smoke as a warning system to protect themselves. Suppose you follow this rule in your personal life. In that case, you are far less likely to be accused of something you didn't do. And if you actually did do something you don't want to take responsibility for, living by this code makes it easier for you to evade suspicion. Don't take on debt you can't handle. Number 10, a strong word called consignment, strictly for live men, not for freshmen. If you ain't got the clientele, say hell no, because they going to want their money, rain, sleet, hell, snow. If a plug or drug supplier has enough confidence in a dealer, he may give him some drugs in a consignment type deal. What this means is that the supplier will give the dealer the product and he will only pay a predetermined fixed price after he sold it. This is also known as fronting work and is also requested by a dealer who is low on money but has the clientele or connections to turn a profit on it after he pays back what he owes to the plug. In and of itself, this isn't a bad practice. It buys you time, keeps you in the game, and depending on your business savvy and position in the market and general know-how, it lets you make more money than you would have if you had bought the product up front. However, this comes with a danger. If you don't sell enough of the product to cover what you took out, then you're in trouble. Best case, you can't ever do consignment again. Worst case, they take the money out of your kneecaps or life. This is no different than any other debt you take on. In the event of a default, the best case scenario is that they don't let you take out any more money until you pay it back and demonstrate that you can handle your debt responsibly. The worst case scenario is that you still have to pay it back and you lose your house or your car. Be honest with yourself. If you know that you don't have the skill set, resources, or work ethic to pay back a debt, don't take it out. You may even find yourself dealing with a bigger problem had you just remained without it. Now, for more wisdom, thoughts, and perspectives on the street, crack, and other things in the hood, check out these videos right here. And don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. That stuff really helps the channel.